Everybody, today I'm going to be working on this out porch. Now I want to remind you that this is not part of my house. This is a little out porch that's connected to my home, and I turned this into another pantry. So I have two pantries. I have my main pantry, and then I have this pantry, which this room does not freeze because I do have an oil furnace that I use just for our shower, which all of you know, and this room here gets about 38 to 40 degrees, so it's really cold in here. So I'm working on organizing everything, and I thought, well, I'll just turn my camera on and show you what I'm working on. So like everybody's houses, there's always that room, there's always that area where everything seems to just sit. And this is what I do. Whenever company's coming or something's going on, I'll just put it out in the out porch. Well, after a while, the out porch gets really full. In fact, it is shamefully very disorganized. A lot of people mention about my food. They have lots of questions and they don't understand why I have so much food. So I'm going to share with you a little bit. Number one is I'm a prepper. If you don't know what prepping is, you can look it up on the internet. But I am a prepper. So I believe in having a storehouse of food, water, and essential items in case something would happen. Now, what that could happen could be anything from job loss to a catastrophe in the United States or anything, or even maybe just food prices are going really high. And so while I am able to get free food and grow my own food, I preserve it. A lot of people ask again, preserved foods when done properly can last 5 years. It can even last longer. It's just my opinion, after 5 years you lose some of your nutrition, but it's still okay if it's properly handled, properly canned, and properly stored. So everything is down at the floor, so I'm looking down. So I'm going to be trying to take everything off the floor and going up. A lot of times people misunderstand, and they don't understand how can you store so much food in a little area. Organization. You have to be organized. You have to have things in an organized way, or it's just going to be one big slop mess. Number two is look up. Everybody needs to look up and see all the different ways they can store things. So somebody made a comment about all of my baskets. This is not part of my house. So this is a storeroom. It's like a country grocery store. So I don't have this stuff in my home where I'm looking at it. It's in this little pantry. A lot of times people don't understand, especially millennials. They have no clue what a home pantry is. Well, back in the 1900s and the 1800s and the 1950s, every woman, every wife had a pantry. That's just what they did. And so a lot of people come on my channel and they're not from this area, they're not from the country, and they're from the city. This is such a new concept to them. So first thing we're going to do is Here's all my lye soap. Well, it's all cured. So my lye soap is cured and it's ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to store it in my baskets up here. That way it's not on the floor. So I take one of my baskets and I'm going to put all of my soap in it. So hanging stuff in baskets on a nail, on a rafter, it's great because you can store so much stuff that way. The soap turned out amazing. I love it. As you know, I did a video on it and I shared with you what I do with this soap. This is soap to wash dishes. This is soap to clean the floor. This is soap to, you can actually use this soap on your own body. It's actually less caustic than it is store-bought soap because it doesn't have any artificial ingredients in it. It has pure soap. It's pure soap. Alright, I'm going to finish doing all of this soap because I have quite a few baskets of it. And then we're just going to go and put it up on a nail. And there you go. It's up hanging on a nail. Now we can put this basket out in my greenhouse. Here we have soap number 2. So I'm going to go ahead, turn the camera off and put this in the basket. And then I'll show you what I'm working on next. Right, so right here in these paper bags are some garden seeds. I'm going to work on that this evening and put them in little packets. That's what they are. So I did a video on canning kidney beans. I'm not sure if this video is going to come out first or this, but I'm going to put these away as well. So what I like to do is I like to rotate my food. I do that twice a year and I have a lot of videos on doing that. It is about a 3 to 4 day project. And what I do is I wipe down all the shelves. I take inventory of what I have. Normally I will do this in the beginning and then in the spring. Then I'll do it again in the fall. And I check everything out. I hardly ever have a jar that's unsealed. A lot of people ask me questions about food and bugs. And to be honest with you, I have never had any bugs in any of my flour or anything. So I don't know anything about that. Some people do have a real problem with that. I'm not sure why I don't. The only thing I can think of is my areas always are ventilated. So in the spring, I always have windows open. I have a lot of ventilation, so there's no humidity in my house. I use bay leaves, I use Mylar bags, I seal things in these half-gallon jars. So I don't know anything about bugs. And maybe in Pennsylvania we don't get bugs like other people. I go ahead and put these jars. And now we're going to work on all of this. So this is leftover Christmas gifts. And it's beautiful. Remember when we made the potpourri? And my granddaughter and I, and we packed it all up. So this is what we got left. So what are we going to do with it? What I'm going to do is, I got some of these magnets. These are hook magnets. And once again, I was thinking outside the box. So we're going to hook these magnets. Let's see if it works. Okay, so this holds 50 pounds. I got these magnets that actually hold 40 to 50 pounds. We're going to put them on the side of the refrigerator. And I'm going to use these hooks so I'm putting all of my potpourri up here like this. This way I can get them hanging in here, and whenever I need to give a gift, I can just grab one of these. All the ingredients that I used for this potpourri was free. So even when you get things like if you dumpster dive and you get things that you can't eat, like these limes weren't very good. You can use them for all kinds of other things. Alright, so I'm going to finish hanging these up and then I'll show you what I'm working on. So many times in our lives, you know, we have to think outside the box. behind me here, this was a shoe rack. And so I put the shoe rack up here, and I'm able to have some of my jellies there. Thinking outside the box, that's how you get a lot of things done. People also ask me about rodents. I don't have any rodents either. And I think it's because I like to hang a lot of mint tea. So this is mint, peppermint tea, and this is dried. Mice hate the smell of peppermint. And so I have all kinds of herbs in here, and mice don't like the smell of herbs. But you know what? I think it's because I keep it clean in here. I am always in here and checking things out, make sure everything's okay. So what I'm doing now is, here are the dried peppers that I dried. Amazing. I put them right back in the jar that those pickled peppers were in. And let me tell you, the pickled peppers got amazing. It smells so good. So I would put them out here. So what I like to do is I like to look. Do I have any areas in here that I can fill? And I do. I have little areas here and there where I can put my food. And then I will have an inventory. So here's some dried cabbage. So I put the dried cabbage in here. A lot of people talk about double stacking. You can double stack your food. Now, I don't double stack this way. In other words, this is my can of butter. I'm not going to go and put a quart on top of it, but you can put your can of butter on top of the quart. Even Ball came out with saying that you can double stack. A lot of people are really fussy about that. This is my way of doing it, and this is my personal way of how I do things. Don't take my word for it. Research on your own and find out what you're comfortable with, because everybody has different things that they're comfortable with. Some people would never can butter. I can butter, but I would never can milk. And I really don't know what the difference is. It's just I don't feel comfortable in canning milk yet. But I do can butter. So go figure on that. So now I have some supplies here that I'm working on because I got a lot of videos coming up. So I'm working down below here and making sure everything is organized. And so have projects always going. So when I was doing my inventory, I found some shortening that expired in 2018. It's still okay. It's still fine, but I don't eat shortening. Still okay. I'm going to make another batch of soap with that. And then I probably have enough of soap to last me 2 years at least. So I have things looking better. There's nothing on the floor now. I brought everything back up. And I like the ideas of being able to hang this on this refrigerator. This is an extra refrigerator, and this came with the house, and it works. And it doesn't run hardly at all because it is so cold here. So we do like having this refrigerator because I do have a lot of produce in the summertime with all of my produce in the garden. I freeze, and I dehydrate. Now you can see me fairly well, but that's because behind you is a door. And so I will have that curtain drawn and turn out the light that's over here. And it gets very dark in here. Your number one killer of your pantry is sunlight. You don't want to have any sunlight. You want to keep it as dark as you can. A lot of people are turning their spare bedrooms into small pantries. And you know what? A lot of people are having a lot of fun doing it. They feel a sense of satisfaction and pride. And to be honest with you, the food that is out of these pantries are a lot better than any food that you're going to buy in the grocery store or at a restaurant. It's so much fresher and it's amazing. So, I hope you enjoyed this. I got to finish getting back to work, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye! Put my kidney beans. I can put them right here. We use a lot of kidney beans, especially in the winter time. And you know what? I think it's a work of art. They are so beautiful too. Oh, what's that, honey? Oh, you want some red beets? Right here they are. I'll just give them to you. Wow, it's so nice to be able to have a grocery store. All in a day's work, my friends. All in a day's work. Bye.